Salako made this known at the National Stakeholders Engagement Meeting on methane mitigation and reduction in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. He said practical steps are being taken to address methane emissions in the country, noting that collaborative efforts of government institutions have led to the development of methane guidelines. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has commenced investigation on the foreign exchange allocations and forward contract previously estimated at $2.4 billion. The development followed the conclusion of the audit of $7 billion debt inherited by the Cardoso-led CBN from the previous administration of the Apex Bank. The new administration of the Apex Bank had engaged a global firm, Deloitte, to carry out an audit. Recall that Cardoso had earlier said about $2.4 billion FX allocations from the $7 billion backlogs were invalid. He revealed that security agencies, including the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, are currently investigating the questionable foreign exchange allocations and forward contracts. The European Union, in continuation of its commitment to supporting the federal government in providing clean, affordable and sustainable energy for all, has introduced two new projects worth 9 million euros in Nigeria's energy sector. The EU disclosed this in Abuja during the project's inception workshop organized in partnership with the federal government and United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Recall that Central Bank of Nigeria had stated that the country's average our data stood at 3,689.700 megawatts in September 2023 as it continues to struggle with low power generation and poor distribution infrastructure. It is against this backdrop that the partnership has been developed to address the poor energy situation in the country. The project, called Small Hydro Power Development for Agro-Industry Use in Nigeria and Advancing Nigeria's Green and Just Transition to Net Zero through Circular Economy Practices, aims to enhance energy accessibility and promote circular economy practices to address pollution and climate change. EU noted that while the SHP DAME is a 3-year project with a budget of 5 million euros, advancing Nigeria's green transition to net zero through circular economy practices is also a 3-year project with a budget of 4 million euros, but added that the United Nations Industrial Development Organization will implement both projects. On the foreign scene, Ethiopia's biggest bank has regained nearly 80% of the cash it lost during the glitch in its system that allowed customers to take out more than they had. President of the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, Abe Sano, who revealed this to journalists, said that around $14 million was withdrawn or digitally transferred during the error. The value of the transactions ranged from 9 cents to $5,350. The president, however, noted that nearly 15,000 people have voluntarily returned funds that were taken illegally, saying that 567 individuals haven't returned theirs. Abe stressed that the total amount remaining is not significant for the bank, but stressed that if the money is not fully recouped, it will send the wrong message. And that was the business news on Today95.1 FM. Good afternoon. Thanks for listening. I'm Faustina Oputu.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
What do you love listening to? What's your style? What's your choice? What do you yearn for? So we've got great talk, amazing conversations, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. So tune in to Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt, because we are the voice of the people. The voice of the people.
Bunkering is a legal act of smuggling crude oil from pipelines and storage facilities, which poses significant dangers to Nigerian society. This activity has different consequences that affect various aspects of the nation's well-being, and it has consequences such as untimely death, environmental devastation. It fuels insecurity, It also damages our infrastructure, and it also damages our international prestige. You might say, how do we make a living if we stop this illegal activity? Well, as a young individual, you can channel your energy into positive endeavors that can help you generate income and create an adequate future for yourself. These are some ideas to help you generate income. You can go into starting a business. You can also acquire digital skills or gain agricultural knowledge or engage in farming. You can also acquire art and creativity. You talk about technology and innovation, then skills and vocational training. Please note that success often requires dedication, consistency, and continuous learning. This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
The platform on radio serves on the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
What's a successful business without sales? And what is sales without an audience? Well, do you know that you can reach 8 million listeners across 6 states in 2 geopolitical zones all at once? How? With Today 95.1 FM, you can get millions of people to know about your business. And what does that mean to you? More sales. Call 081 389 2850 now for more information.
.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
Minutes past 1 p.m. A lovely Wednesday afternoon to you. Welcome to Business Today on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. My name is Faustina Oputu. How are you doing? I mean that. How are you doing? Especially when I ask twice, just know that I'm very serious about it, and you need to take a pause and answer me. Not minding the fact that I'm not there, to hear you. But just answer me. Faustina, I'm fine. Faustina, I'm not fine. If you're not fine, a big hug to you. Please be fine. Try and be fine, okay? If you're fine, kudos to you, okay? It means that you have been coping very, very well. Looking at the current economic situation, you have been coping very well. So kudos to you. If you've not been coping well, I mean, it's within us to find ways to cope. It's within our power. We've got the innate abilities. That's why we're humans, okay? We've been blessed. We've been given the power to find ways to cope. The different people have different ways, to cope. So just find what works for you as long as you're not endangering the life of the next person, okay? That being said, welcome once again to Business Today on Today95.1 FM. So our conversation today, as usual, is going to be centered around a business concern, okay? Because we need you to grow. We need your business to grow. We need you to stay afloat in business. All right. So what are we looking at today on the show? We are going to look at product branding and its importance. Okay. All you need to know about product branding. We're going to talk about it. As you may know, I'm not an expert in that field, but I've got an expert who is going to let us in on all that we need to know. Okay. I have Amarachi Stanley. She is a business process improvement expert, founder, Small Business Workshop. She's also an author. Okay, so she has written books. So it's not just, I didn't just go on the street to bring anybody at all. I brought an expert to you so you can benefit from her wealth of experience. Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, Faustina.
Good to have you join us on the show.
Great to be here. I'm glad.
All right. So I've told them that you're here to bless us with your wealth of experience in business. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So we're looking at product branding. As you said, branding is broad. So we need to just narrow it down to an aspect. Probably people have been throwing the word branding around and probably don't know what it really entails. So you're going to let us in on what branding is briefly, and then we'll narrow it down to what product branding is and all we need to know about it. So let's begin from there. What is branding, first and foremost?
Okay, so thank you for having me, Faustina. And I'm going to use the simplest of languages, okay? So I would say branding is a process of creating some kind of perception, the way you want people to see you. So I would say branding is a process which involves, of course, a lot of activities that you use to create a perception for a company, for an organization, for an individual, for a product, right? So that is the simplest definition for branding in the layman's perspective. Okay.
So let's narrow it down to product branding. What is product branding?
Okay, so product branding at the same time would be, activities. It will be things that you do to project a particular kind of perception for your product in the eyes of the public. It's the simplest way to put it.
Okay.
And, okay, go ahead.
I thought you wanted to say something else.
Yes, I was going to say something else.
All right, go ahead.
So, product branding could involve not just activities, right? Because branding involves tangible and intangible formats. So, a product, it could be the logo, it could be a design, It could be the container.
Okay.
It could be packaging. It could even be your location. So that could form tangible methods of branding.
Okay.
And there are the intangible ones, which of course comes down to the experience people have when they interact with your product, right? It comes with the one in form of colors. It comes in the ways that people, if the experience just interfaces things like the voices. Let me give an example.
All right.
For some products, the easiest way to recognize them is the font with which they are written. I think as we proceed, you'll be able to get more clarity on what differentiates products. So let's just continue.
Okay. So why should one consider branding? Why is it important?
I'll ask you a question. Do you wear earrings?
Yes, I do. Actually, wearing one now.
Okay, you know, our earrings have stoppers, right?
They have what?
Stoppers, like they help you to clip it to your ears if
Sure,
you're wearing
yes.
pin earrings.
Yes.
Have you ever lost your stopper in the sand?
Yes.
Okay, were you able to find it eventually?
I'm not sure. Sand, no.
You see, if you lose something as tiny as an earring stopper, right? Where you have other items that are in grain format, the only way to find it would be because it is different. Sometimes you are picking beans, you want to cook beans. And then within that maybe like 4 cups or 5 cups of beans you have with you, you will find corn.
Yes, yes.
The only way you identify a grain of corn within a whole maybe bucket or basket of beans is because it's differentiated. It doesn't look the same.
True.
So in the same way, branding becomes absolutely important in a saturated market. For you to be able to differentiate yourself, for people to recognize your product, it must be branded.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It has to be branded. So the first thing branding does for you is it differentiates you. It creates differentiation in the market. So that's one thing. So I want to buy, say, Tiger Nut juice.
Yeah.
And I come into the market and there are several bottles of Tiger Nut juice. How do I know your product? How do I buy your particular brand of Tiger Nut juice that's on the shelf? So that branding is what differentiates you in the marketplace. So that's one of the most important reasons why people should brand, right? Branding also creates credibility and trust. So we're talking small businesses here, so let's go really granular, right? So when you go to the market, especially in the open market, you come to some spaces and you say they're selling spices. Some of the spices are just tied up in waterproofs.
True.
Or tied up or put up in plastic containers. There's no label on it. There's nothing that tells you this is who it comes from. Okay, so I'll give an example will be appropriate here. So there's a product I sold one time, and the person who bought the product gave it as a gift to some other person.
Okay.
And so a couple of months later, the person who it was given to needed it again because, according to her, she couldn't remember where she got it from. So she began to put call across to different people. Who knows this product? Who knows where I got this? And the person asked her, is there a phone number on that particular sticker on the product? And she said, oh, surely there is. And they called. And when they called, we said, oh, yes, we can give you this product. And we're able to deliver the product to a new customer, right?
Okay.
The reason why the person could call back is because there's a branding on that product. If she bought it from the open market, just like other products, and handed it to the person, no matter how fantastic that product is, there will not be repeat buy. Because the person using it cannot locate who the manufacturer is.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And then when you put some kind of branding, people are likely to trust you more because they can find you. Branding has a lot to do with human emotions, right? Part of the things I need to point out here also is that branding is what you want people, how you want people to perceive you. But a brand is how people eventually perceive you. I don't know if you understand the difference.
Okay, now let me get this straight. Now you talked about some colors as part of brands. Okay, now you're saying that branding is how you want people to perceive you. So using the example of color, can you explain that a little bit further?
Okay, so that will go a bit more technical, right?
Oh, okay.
Because, but it's okay. It's okay. People, when a brand continues to feature in your face from time to time, you begin to associate them with certain things. For example, in this country, there's a brand we all can associate with the color yellow. Once you say yellow, is the color of the brand. Everyone knows the brand they're talking about. When it comes to the telecom industry, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the bank, and someone says, I want to describe a bank for you, and he says, well, when you get to the bus stop, you will see a signpost of a bank. The signage is blue in color, but then it has an elephant on it. You already know the bank they are talking about.
Yeah.
And someone says, I'm trying to describe that bank for you. You don't know where it is. Okay, get to the junction by so-and-so location. You will see a gray building with an orange top. You can relate very quickly. And someone says, I'm looking for a church to attend. And you say, I don't know the name of that church, but if you're walking down the street, you will see a signage with green and white color. That's the church. You quickly can relate to the church that has a green and white signage as a brand.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So colors can be used as for branding. So people can relate your business to certain colors. And this cuts across different products. So why I said I didn't want us to go so technical was because these different colors also have the different kind of emotions they evoke.
Okay, yeah.
And some psychological aspects that make certain companies choose certain colors for their brands. Okay, so that's going deeper in branding. But today I want us to focus on small businesses who are really trying to, put themselves together. So I don't want us to go that technical, but yeah.
Okay. Now, staying with the small businesses, looking at the business environment, how well or how not well are they doing with product branding?
Okay, so a lot of small businesses really don't start up right. To explain it better, I would say they don't have a proper startup planning, right?
Okay.
So when a business wants to start, you create some kind of a business plan, no matter how small, right? A skeletal business plan to give yourself some kind of direction. You decide what kind of colors you will use for your business, at least to differentiate yourself in the market. You decide what channels you will use to sell your product, whether it will be physical, in-store, or it will be online, right? So those are part of the things businesses, of course, include when they are writing their business plans. But then, a lot of the times, businesses don't think about branding because they just want to put the product together. The focus is in the content and the product, not in the container or in the packaging. So you have a fantastic product that comes to market, but it doesn't look appealing. It's not attractive. There's nothing that makes it unique, that differentiates it from the other products in the market. So you have a very fine product, but nobody's buying it. So there's this advert by a particular paint company in this country. They're still in business. I used to hear it when I was a child, and the advert was done in Igbo, but I'll translate it. It says, "It won't be so good for a young lady to be so beautiful, and then you will use stack bag to sew cloth for her."
Oh, okay, I remember that. I remember that. Nostalgic.
Yeah. So you can't have a beautiful young woman, fine content, right? And then you will use a sackcloth to cover her. When you cover her, you've taken away every beauty. Because there's an adage that says that the eye sees before the mouth begins to eat when it comes to food. So no matter how fantastic the food tastes, if it doesn't look appealing, the consumer might not want to eat it. Talk more about it, right?
Right.
So when it comes to small businesses, that is where the challenge is. They are more invested in the product than in the packaging or the branding of the product. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's where the challenge mostly is. And I think the reason is that there's a misconception of what branding really is.
Okay.
So I think a lot of small businesses feel, branding is getting expensive packaging, making it look all flattery, making it look also fantastic. There's a place for that. But you see, there are intangible parts of branding, which includes how you sell, how your customers feel about your product. I've mentioned, yes, there's a part where it has to look good,
yes,
where it has to look appealing for people to even want to touch it. But it doesn't end there as well. If you put a bad product in a good container, nobody will buy it as well. Once they have the first interaction with the product, they step away. Besides that as well, there is the client experience when it comes to customer relations. So the way you make people feel end to end in doing business with you, from when they see your product to when they buy it from you, and how you treat them after they have bought it from you, it's also some kind of branding.
So it's an entire process, really.
Yes, it's a whole lot of things. So if you remember when I started, I mentioned it is something you do. It's a set of activities.
Yeah.
So it's not just a thing. So branding is a thing, and branding is also some things. So it can look like one thing, then it can have a whole lot of other things attached to it. So you have the physical part, and you have the intangible part. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me open up the phone lines at this point, just in case anyone has a question or contribution they can contribute. You're listening to Business Today on Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People. We're having a conversation about product branding. And I've got Amarachi Stanley. She's a business process improvement expert and the founder Small Business Workshop, and she's also an author. So she's on the show telling us about product branding and all that you need to know about it. So if you're just joining us, you've missed, but you can still get a whole lot, from the rest of the show. So feel free to calling, texting, and join the conversation. And for you listening, I'm going to ask you this simple question. Yeah? Why do you think some SMEs downplay branding? Yes, you can answer that, okay? And if you have any misconceptions about branding, any questions at all, feel free to ask on the show. You can dial the numbers 0817 00 951 and 0810 9510 951. Those are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation. Or you can send messages, text messages or WhatsApp messages. Forward them to the number 0701 933 9962. That's for messages. Once again, 0701 933 9962. Or you can join the conversation on social media. Facebook Today95.1 FM. Go there, drop a comment. On X is at Today FM 951. Okay, so you have different channels to be a part of the conversation. Product branding is our focus for today on the show. Why do you think some SMEs downplay branding? All right, so that's the question for you to answer on the show. If you have any question relating to branding, feel free to ask, okay? Small business owners, this is an opportunity for you to know, okay? Look at what you've been doing. Are you branding? Are you putting your business out there? How are you putting it out there, okay? It's an entire process. And are you doing it well? Are you doing it at all? And you've learned the importance, if you follow the program from the beginning, you've learned the importance of product branding. Okay, so you are well aware of that now. So feel free to dial the numbers, send in your messages, and let's hear from you. Okay, all right, let me take this message here. It says, okay, a distinction between advertising and product branding would be fine, please. Okay, so you want a distinction between branding, product branding and advertising. Okay, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, so it should be also important to mention that branding is an integral part of advertising your product. You understand?
Okay.
It is important to mention that because when you are advertising your product, you are putting out a brand. So you would like for everyone to know what exactly it is you are selling, what exactly it is you are doing. So part of branding actually involves marketing. Because you can't brand and hide it. Branding is supposed to, of course, put you out there, which is very, very important. Especially, I think whoever brought up that question, thank you very much for asking that question. So I would say that advertising is different, which is you are trying to market your product, but branding is necessary for you to be able to adequately or effectively advertise your product.
Okay.
So whatever it is that you are creating, that you want the public to perceive in a particular way, advertising is the wheel or the vehicle that you use to push out that brand. I hope that clarifies.
Oh, yeah. I hope so too. I hope you understand that as well. Okay, so keep your question coming in and your comments as well. You can send them in as text messages or WhatsApp messages, or you can simply call the numbers to be live on the show. You can join the conversation on social media as well. Okay, once again, the number for you to send in your messages, 0701 933 9962, 0701 933 9962. 0813262, or you dial 0817 0000951 and 0810 9510951. We are talking product branding, okay, and looking at what it is, its importance, okay. We're looking at all of that. So if you have any question around it, feel free to ask questions. All right, this message here on WhatsApp says, just a moment. Okay. This one here says, I'm meant to understand that branding is very expensive. How true is it?
Okay. So thank you for the question, because that goes back to address the concerns we have. Why do small businesses not invest in branding? Branding is not entirely expensive. So it depends on the kind of branding. So that was why I started answering that question by explaining to you that branding is all encompassing.
Okay.
So it's not just how you put out. So as a small business, answering you directly, branding is not expensive. Understand there's a particular way you want people to perceive you at a particular point in time. So start with that. So if you are going to start with a simple logo or a simple sticker, if you can't afford to, create some kind of packaging, start with something smaller, right? But the first thing you need to achieve with branding is differentiate yourself in the market. Let people know it is you. That's the first thing. So start with something small. That's first thing. So basically differentiate, right? Gradually, what you don't understand is that when you don't differentiate, you don't have clients. Nobody's coming to buy from you.
Okay.
Because they don't know you in the market. So the first thing you need to do is differentiate. Then gradually, as you begin to form your own clientele, remember that I mentioned that it's not just differentiate and get people to buy from you, but as a client experience surrounding it, and to ensure that your clients have good experiences and you keep having repeat buy, your business begins to grow. As your business grows, you can now invest more in branding. Okay? So you can decide to change the packaging, you can decide to change your logo. Most businesses, even very, very big businesses, do a rebranding because they want to change the way they look. They want to convey a different kind of message. There has to be something associated with your brand. So it's not just about market differentiation, but it's also the way people feel when they see your product. If you remember, I did mention that when you are branding, no matter how simple it is, it should be appealing. It should make people want to touch your product. It has to be attractive. And these things are not that difficult to get. Okay?
Okay.
A simple logo that you can design by yourself on Canva and get someone to print it for you. Just put your name, the name of your product, a simple logo, you put a phone number, and just a contact that can make people know that this is your product. Make it simple, but make it nice. So that won't really cost you so much, right?
Okay.
Then you can move upwards. As you earn more money, you can decide, okay, maybe this time I'm going to put out social media handles. I'm going to start doing advertising like the other person asked the question. So you start putting out your brand, because the whole idea is that you want people to see you in a certain way. So you must have not just a logo, not just a design, you must have a brand message.
Okay. Those are the elements.
Yes.
Okay. And then with what you're saying, that people can brand at their different levels.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This question here says, are there lies about branding?
Are there what?
Lies about branding.
Lies.
More like, do people lie with branding? You know how some ads can be, it's like, okay, this can be true. This can be true. I mean, are there lies about branding?
Okay. So, I'll put it this way. Like I said, branding is how you want people to perceive you. So, which means that people can want you to perceive them in a certain way. If that is how they are, it is you, the consumer, that will tell. Remember, I said branding is how you want people to perceive your organization, your product, your company, or whoever you are, right? But the brand actually is how they eventually perceive you. That's the difference.
Okay.
So the brand is not what you are selling, but eventually what people have bought. So if you lie with your brand or in your branding, the public or the consumer will tell.
Okay, so there's a possibility of lying.
Branding can have both positive and negative. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm saying you package to look in a certain way. The public can decide whether they like what you are packaging or not. So it's not even about you lying. Because the whole thing here is that you want the public to see you, to accept you, to buy from you. The public determines whether they like you, whether they trust you, whether they believe you. So even if your product is authentic, it is what the public wants that becomes your brand. I don't know if you understand.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, keep your calls coming in, messages coming in as well. Okay, you can dial the numbers 08170000951. I hope the lines are working. You can also dial 0810-9510-951. Ask your questions about product branding. That's our conversation for today on the show. And then, why do you think that some SMEs downplay branding? Okay, that's the question for you to answer. You can answer that via the call lines, or you can send in your messages. WhatsApp or text messages you should send to 0701-933-9962. 0701-933-9962. That's for messages. Or you can call the numbers and then be a part of the conversation. Also, drop a comment on social media. Facebook, Today95.1 FM. Our next is at Today FM 951. You're listening to Business Today on Today 95.1 FM. We're looking at product branding. And of course, I've got my guest, Amarachi Stanley, a business process improvement expert, founder, small business workshop, and author, telling us what we need to know about product branding. So this is the opportunity for you to ask your questions, all right? Questions about branding, regardless of the level of business you are in, small, medium, large, you can ask all of the questions. And it's been said that you can brand at your level, that branding is not as expensive as some people make it to look like, okay? You can brand at your level. All right. And you don't need to break the bank to brand. You don't need to look at bigger brands who have, been there over the years. They've made some money and they've taken branding to the level that they've taken it to. And you look at them, oh, I want to be like this one. But you're on another level. So you can begin from your level to brand from your level. So it's not, branding is not as expensive as they've told you. Maybe some people have told you, you want to brand, branding is expensive, or your business go follow. No, that you can actually do that on your level. Okay, so are there other things that we need to know about product branding that you haven't said already? Yes. Right.
There's something I really need to talk about when it comes to small businesses and branding. This part where we say it's not expensive to brand, so you can brand at your level. Just use something simple, something basic, right? I need to also mention that branding can help you price your product differently.
Okay.
So, yes, branding is used for product differentiation. But you see, there's a way you will brand your product. You can increase your pricing on that product. So you, how do we do this now? So you pick up a particular product in a shop, you see that it is just sealed, maybe with sellotape, right? Transparent tape. Okay, so you look at it, you say, okay, this is okay. But as you pick it up, you take a look and you find another product that is sealed with tamper-proof. Something happens to you immediately. You will begin to feel that the person who sealed his container with tamper-proof is a more, what word would I use? It's a better business than the one who used transparent tape to seal his container.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to understand.
Okay, so you come to a table where they sell chin-chin. So you have someone in a small transparent plate, puts very good chin-chin, and then seals it with transparent tape, sellotape.
Yeah.
And then just beside it is another one who also puts it in a transparent container, but now goes the extra mile to get what we call tamper-proof.
Okay.
There's a kind of seal you call tamper-proof seals, right? You put it on your container and use probably a hot gun to seal it. Immediately you see that something just tells you that the person who used tamper-proof is a more organized or a neater business than the one who just used transparent sellotape to seal the container.
Right.
It's psychological. You don't do it intentionally. And somewhere at the back of your mind, you just feel that this one is a better product. So there could be a difference of 100 naira in pricing. You wouldn't mind, you will buy it.
True.
Because you feel safer with the one that has a tamper-proof seal. That's branding. Just that extra seal makes you price your product higher. So it becomes important that when you are branding, much as you do the basics, try and see if you can put something a little extra. Customers don't mind paying for extra when there is value added. And the value doesn't just have to be in the product. It can be in the way it looks.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. There's a product we sold one time.
All right.
And when we gave delivered to the client, she's never bought before, so she didn't know the price. And she asked, how much is it? I said, sorry, this particular product is this amount, and this is X amount. And she said, no, it's okay. I will pay for it. The branding and the packaging alone is worth more than this amount. And over the years, we've increased the price of those products over and over, and none of our customers have stopped purchasing it because they feel there's a trust that comes with it. If this thing looks like this, if you can invest so much or this amount to make this look like this, make this appealing, make it this attractive, I'm sure whatever is inside is worth it. And I want every small business owner to reason in that direction. Ask yourself, if I'm going to buy something from someone, how would I feel if I see different products? What is it that I make my judgment that determines how I make my judgment of purchasing a product?
Okay.
When you understand what determines the judgment, then you will also know that is how other clients, other customers, when they come before you, that's how they also make judgments on your products. So what I'm trying to say is that when you add value to the look and feel of your product, you can actually increase your prices. And when you increase your pricing, you gradually differentiate your market. You certainly just say, my target market has shifted. I'm expecting people who have so and so amount of money to purchase my product. I'm sure you understand it. So,
Sure.
So branding helps you not just to put yourself out there, but it also helps you to segment yourself in the market. It makes you unique. It helps you determine your target market just because of the way your product looks and what you communicate to your customers. So that is a very important thing I need to mention. So yes, we can start from whatever level, but then we should be intentional about it. What do you want to achieve? Who are your target customers? Your target customers should determine the way you brand your product.
All right. Thank you very much. You're listening to Business Today on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Conversation is centered around product branding. All right. Looking at small business owners who are probably struggling with branding, probably telling themselves, oh, branding is expensive, so I shouldn't, even venture into it. But I'm sure that after listening to our guest on the show, you're having a change of mind that you can brand at your level and be intentional about your branding and know how. I mean, it's always good to seek professional advice when you start out in business, in all of these issues. But that's another problem. For some business owners. They just want to set out in business and then not seek professional advice when it comes to branding or advertising or whatsoever. Yeah. I don't know why that is so, but then I think everybody's looking at, this one, if I do this one, it's going to finish my money that I use for, for my business. So let me just stick to what I know and do what I know, as opposed to seeking professional help or advice in business as well. But before we go, let's just do a quick recap of what we've talked about. Just your final words on the show before we go. Wrap up.
Okay. So for me, I would say to every small business, branding affects the way people perceive your product. So branding can promote your business. It can increase the value of your business. It can also decrease the value of your business. Whatever way you brand will determine the kind of clients or customers you attract to yourself. So determine who you want to serve, how much you want to make, and then tailor the way you want people to perceive you in that direction.
Thank you very much, Amarachi Stanley, Business Process Improvement Expert, founder, Small Business Workshop, and author. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Really do appreciate you.
Thank you, Faustina, for having me.
Okay, that's our show for today. Remember that you can, from today, brand your business from your level, from the level that you are. All you need to do is probably get some professional advice, okay? So you don't just go do branding the way you want it to do, and then it becomes counterproductive, okay? Do well to follow Today 95.1 FM on all social media platforms, Today 95.1 FM, Facebook at Today FM 951, on X and Instagram. Thank you very much. And yes, you can follow Amarachi on socials, IG and FB, Amarachi Stanley. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was nice being with you today.
Yes, it was a nice one. We appreciate you for that.
All right.
Okay, so I'll go on a break. Top of the hour, bring you the news update at 2. And right after that, we're getting to Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM. My name is Faustina Oputu. Stay with us.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
What do you love listening to? What's your style? What's your choice? What do you yearn for? So we've got great talk, amazing conversations, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. So tune in to Today 95.1 FM. We're talking because we are the voice of the people. The voice of the people.
Hello. Welcome to a new dawn. Full of dreams. Full of visions. Full of possibilities and full of life. Let's start your day with Today 95.1 FM. The voice of the people.
What do you love listening to? What's your style? What's your choice? What do you yearn for? So we've got great talk, amazing conversations, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. So tune in to Today 95.1 FM. We're talking because we are the voice of the people. The voice of the people.
What in the happen?
They say wahala need finish.
Now this one wahala be like bicycle. They just
waiting the happen. Now for Today 95.1 FM, 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, bomb quem. Now here you go here, waiting the happen for Niger and Obodo the world. Now that time where we they bring you Ogbonga to them, where go shock you. You go wonder say a person do like this. Now so we they bring them come give you acid the hot.
Now where would they find way to sweep this country? Don't run. You go their blood in the chopper. You say this one. No worry. When time will reach, I'll say I want to take them. I see where they go.
Homeland is homeland.
Me, I go open gate for them. Now me go be get man at that time for airport.
Waiting they happen. Make you know Miss Mazi Ike God Ike Machuku and MC Kuro for waiting they happen. You go enjoy yourself. Not forget to say woman they chop our recharge card woto. I don't tell you say this place na education center. As you sit down here with us from Monday to Friday, you go enjoy waiting they happen. Waiting they happen. Make you know miss them at all.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello and good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Faustina Uputu. President Bola Tinubu has declared that individuals involved in despicable crimes such as kidnapping must be treated as terrorists. The president made the declaration at a Ramadan dinner with members of the federal judiciary led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, reiterating the government's resolve to defeat banditry. The president said those who resort to kidnapping children are cowards, incapable of confronting the might of the Nigerian armed forces. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Oil, Heineken Lukbobri, has threatened to cancel modular refineries' licenses if they fail to meet key performance index. He said the agreements were signed without knowing the owners of the plants, but added that he would not hesitate to cancel them despite full own them. The minister met as known at the Oil and Gas Sector Retreat 2024 in Abuja, themed Building Synergy for the Enhanced Development in the Oil and Gas Sector. Okpobri said the first target of the industry is to ramp up production to meet national target and increase in revenue. The Federal Road Safety Corps says it has set up more than 200 mobile courts to prosecute traffic offenders during the Easter special patrol operations across the country. The FRC, in a statement by its public education officer, Jonas Ago, said the mobile courts were set up towards ensuring a safe and smooth 2024 Easter celebrations. He quoted the Corps Marshal, Dauda Biu, as urging the commanding officers to ensure full deployment of staff for maximum visibility. Biu urged them to ensure prompt removal of obstructions on all highways across the country to reduce road traffic crashes and fatalities. A said the directive was in line with the operational guidelines of the 2024 Special Patrol scheduled to commence from March 29 to April 2. The Are Onakankafo of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, has warned against what he termed as deliberate efforts by some individuals to drag his name in the mud, saying his silence should not be taken for cowardice. Adams, while speaking on the controversy generated by an audio clip, said he was ready to set the record straight on the various questions hanging in the balance on the alleged defamation contained in the clips, which he said was concocted, distorted, and disjointed. Recall that Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, alias Sunday Igboho, and the Chief of Staff to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, Tayo Ayinde, had both threatened to drag the Are Onakankafo, Iba Gani Adams, to court for allegedly accusing them of plotting an assassination. Igboho and Ayinde, in separate pre-action letters by their lawyers, demanded that Adams retract the said assassination claim against them, or they would drag him to court. On the foreign scene, Thailand has taken a historic step closer to marriage equality after the lower house passed a bill giving legal recognition to same-sex marriage. It still needs approval from the Senate and royal endorsement to become law, but it is widely expected to happen by the end of 2024, making Thailand the only Southeast Asian country to recognize same-sex unions. It will strengthen Thailand's reputation as a relative haven for LGBTQ plus couples in a region where such attitudes are rare. The new law, which was passed by 415 of lawmakers present, will describe marriage as a partnership between two individuals instead of between a man and woman. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Good afternoon. Thanks for listening. I'm Faustina Uputu.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today 95.1 FM.
Today 95.1 FM.
Hello, my people. Are you ready for an electrifying experience that would send shivers down your spine? Welcome to the thrill. Hold on tight as we dive into the hottest high life tracks that will make your pulse race and your feet move. It's not just a show. It's a musical and talk adventure that would leave you craving for more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the thrill. Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. only on Today 95.1 FM.
It's been an exciting week. It's been an awesome week. And just in case you missed out on our big stories this week, we got you covered. Rewind comes up every Saturday, 6:30 a.m. And here you get your total rundown of all the big stories and trends for the week in River State. And this is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Rewind, 6:30 a.m. every Saturday. Don't miss it.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
What do you love listening to? What's your style? What's your choice? What do you yearn for? So we've got great talk, amazing conversations, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. So tune in to Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt, because we are the voice of the people. The voice of the
people. Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today,
95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
It's past 2 p.m. A lovely Wednesday afternoon to you. Welcome to Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM. My name is Faustina Oputu, and yes, let's get into a conversation for this hour. And our focus would be on what has been done recently by the River State government. Remember that during the campaign period, and after, I think, there were promises made by the governor to reopen the Marwan market. And I remember having a conversation one time. There were protests about it, but then again, there's a new development. I'm just going to read you briefly a statement we have in the news, then I'll get it to our guest who is, busy at the moment. But then again, we'll just steal some time from our guest to walk us through the process. So the River State government has commenced the allotment of shops at the Rumuwoji Marwan market in Port Harcourt City local government area to its original owners. Now, several years after being under locks. And this news, came with, it was visited with a lot of, this is a welcome development. It's fine. And some people are saying, I hope the real owners would be able to get their shops, when this entire process is over and done with. Okay, so I won't waste any of my guests' time because I've got to just quickly ask a few questions and then let him get back to work. So I have joining me this afternoon to have this particular conversation Bright Chinedu, National Chairman of Reformed Traders Association of Nigeria. Hello, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, madam.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so first and foremost, when you heard this particular story, how did it make you feel?
Yeah, actually, beginning of the battle of this, we had our program at the Mawa market on 28th December.
Okay.
Which the person who is the executive governor of Rivers State is his usefulness, Ambassador Chijete, who on that occasion assured the traders, the general public, that before the end of January 2024, that the governor will do the needful by opening the market. So by God's special grace, at that January, the governor didn't hesitate. They constituted a committee.
Okay.
By special grace, I'm a member of the committee. And yes, there is three things there. One, there is some group of persons that went to court who are shop owners. There is those two who are shop owners who didn't go to court.
Okay.
Then in the three other sides, there is during the time of 2020, the time that the former governor of Rivers State was commissioned the process of balloting. So there is some persons who balloted and they won. So the committee deemed it necessary to make sure that these persons are part of the process. They try to make sure that everybody are beneficiaries. Yes, the challenge we're having there is the number of them are lower compared to the persons who have to be benefited from it.
Okay.
So we have to apply our wisdom. One, we follow the process of those who went to court to see how they can be able to go and withdraw the matter from court. We interface with them, discuss. Then they came up with a list. Then those who didn't go to court came up with a list.
Okay.
So we have to merge this list together. Because this list, we are not just working. We have what we call ledger. There is a ledger. That ledger is a ledger of 1984.
1984?
1984.
As far back as then?
Yes. And that ledger of 1984 has been in existence. So if you are any shop owner, your name must be found in that place. Your name must be found in that place. So we try to make sure such a thing is being taken proper care of. And that is exactly the stage we are right now. We are trying to see, to make sure we have interfaced with all these bodies.
Okay.
Because we don't want anybody to be left aside. If maybe on the process we discovered that there is persons who their names, yes, we have gotten all the names, but we are trying to apply wisdom to see what we can be able to do at this point to make sure that everybody, got their shops. I thank God for whom the governor of Rivers State is, the way and the manner he has been doing as the state,
Okay.
And that is at least the level we are right now.
All right. Now you talked about making sure that everybody is carried along, and you also talked about the people who went to court, and then you interface with them. I mean, what's their stance now? Are they willing to withdraw and then come to whatever conclusion?
Yes, that is a communication. We have gone about that level. We are above the level now. There is peace, there is understanding, and we are working as one. Because what we are interested, which everybody is interested to, is to see how, to make sure that place is open and for everybody to be carried along. So, by God's special grace, that's exactly the level we are now. Both those who didn't court, because we know that it's not everybody that went to court.
Okay.
And we cannot say because he didn't go to court then you will be denied of your shop. No. You understand?
Okay.
So as long as your name is found in that ledger, it stands at the position of getting your process, getting your shop from the committee.
Okay. So you're sure that this particular process, when finally completed, it would be fair, free, and transparent?
Yes, by God's special grace.
Okay. You're very busy at the moment, so I've got to let you go now. But thank you very much for joining. I'll keep tabs. We'll keep calling to find out the stages and to see if everything is going on smoothly. Thank you very much once again.
God bless you.
All right. Bless you too. Okay, that was a conversation, and then he's busy, so we just had to just steal just a little time from him. Busy with the stuff we're talking about, okay? Making sure that at the end of the day, we don't have people going to government house, carrying placards and protesting. Oh, we did it. We are the real owners, or we are part of the original owners, but we didn't see our names. We didn't get back our shops and all of that. Like I mentioned earlier, at some point, there were protests that I had a conversation with the leader of that protest. I can't remember the month exactly, but we had a conversation around this Rumoji Malwan market issue, and probably they were having feelers that things are going to happen, and the things that are going to happen was not happening, or were not happening in their favor, were not going to happen in their favor. So they got aggrieved and felt like, okay, we need this to go on very transparently and fairly so everyone can get their shops. They didn't want a ballot system to be conducted again because they are the real owners. They need to get back their shops so they can go back to business. And in all of this, some people are excited for the fact that the shops are going to be reopened. Business activity or activities are going to go on there. Because the place has been shut for a very long time. Now, what's the need of having a market such as that and then having it under lock and key? When it can be opened, to have business activity going on, that would benefit the state ultimately. And whether we like it or not, aside the shop owners, aside people who are going to do business around there, benefiting from the opening of that market, it would definitely benefit the state government. Revenue is going to be generated from there. So you'd have young men and women get into business, get back to business, and mind the business that would bring food to their tables, as opposed to minding some kind of business that you wouldn't want them to mind. So for some people, their grouse is not with whatever that is going on in that market. Oh, shop owners, original or non-original shop owners, that is not their business. Their business is, let this place be opened. Let business activity go on. So it can generate revenue for the state. So people can get back to business and not stay, idly somewhere. But of course, there are the issues. There were the issues that were talked about. Okay, there's a court case and there is a case, that's the reason it has been shut for a very long time. But then again, you heard the national chairman of Reformed Traders Association of Nigeria, who is in the committee that is responsible for the process of allotment of the shops. Bright Chinedu, talking about the fact that, well, even the people who went to court, they are in talks with them to bring them to the dialogue table. They want to see how everyone can be carried along. So at the end of the day, we don't have aggrieved people again. But I'm hoping, it is my wish and hope and prayer that I don't get to be here and then one day we hear that, oh, this process, it didn't work. Oh, some people are carrying placards at the government house. Oh, their names are not found. Oh, and all of those. I hope that this particular process is going to satisfy everybody. Oh, well, you know how it is very hard to satisfy everyone. But then, if we have, let's say, 90-something% of people satisfied with this particular process, that would be progress, right? Sure, it would be progress. Now, according to the story I read earlier, the first batch of the allocation was done with names published. Oh, okay. And then there is the ledger of 1984 that they are working with. But whatever the issues are, we just hope that they are resolved and resolved amicably. The most important thing is for business activities to commence in that Rumuwoji market. All right. Well, I don't know if you've got any concern, if you've got concerns about the process of allotment of shops. If you think, oh, well, it shouldn't be given to the original owners of the shop. It should just be open so people, anybody that is ready to do business can go and do something, bid, whatever, ballot or whatever it is. Let it be open so more people can benefit. Or maybe of the opinion that, yes, there are people who are there, there are shops there, so they should be giving back their shops so they can carry on with their business activities. So, what are your concerns about this? The commencement of the allotment of shops at the Rumuwoji Malwan Market. What are your concerns about that? Open up the phone lines now so you can join the conversation and let me hear your concerns. All right? Do you have any worries? Do you have any fears? Maybe you simply just want to say, wow, this is a welcome development. In fact, it is a very welcome development. After being shut down or being under lock and key for many years, if it's finally going to be opened, well, it's a welcome development. If that's what you want to say, feel free to go ahead and say so also, all right? 0817-0000-951. In fact, I think that line is not responding. But you can try, just in case, I don't know. Maybe some form of magic or miracle happens on that one. But dial the number 0810-9510-951. That's the number you should dial to be a part of the conversation, or you send me a message, text message or WhatsApp message to 0701 933 9962. 0701 933 9962. That's for messages, or you can join the conversation on Facebook. Today, 95.1 FM on Facebook, on X at Today FM 951. Okay, so use those platforms to get across to me and let's have this particular conversation. Okay. So it says the River State government has commenced the allotment of shops at the Rumuwoji Mile 1 Market in Port Harcourt City local government area to its original owners. Emphasis, original owners, several years after being under lock and key. Okay, so do you have any grounds for the fact that it's being allotted or is being given back to the original owners? Do you have any problem with that? Do you have any issue with that? Or what other concern do you have as regarding this particular process? I mean, I had some people talk about the fact that, well, in all of this or things like this, you'd have some sort of politics creeping into it. So do you think politics is going to creep into this and just scatter the process or something? Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Faustina.
Welcome. Toye?
Yeah. Yes, exactly, Toye.
Good to have you on the show.
Yes. Faustina, sometime I think early this year, January, very early or so, we had a conversation around this topic.
Yeah, some people were aggrieved. I think they went on a protest. So I spoke to a lady then. I remember that.
Yes. So, but you see, justice demand that the shop be given to the original owner. What is the ballot now all about? Yes, what is the ballot all about?
Now they are allotting the shops to the original owners. Yes. That's the latest one now.
Yes, that is the correct thing to do now.
Okay.
Yes, that is the correct thing to do. Anything short of that, it will be injustice. Because if you say they are going to do a balloting or whatever, it will amount to nothing. It will just bridge the original reason for which that place is set up.
Okay.
So giving them
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, keep your calls coming in. Okay, I think I've got to go on a commercial break. When I come back, we'll still continue talking about this particular issue. Okay, so keep your messages coming in. Forward them to 0701 933 9962. Text messages or WhatsApp messages, you can forward to that number. We'll go on that break and now we'll be back.
Okay, all right. All you need to know about this one is that
95.1 FM. Such a unique dial.
Get your own house for Greater Taft City, Port Harcourt, na city where they don't plan them where you feel live, work and play. Greater Taft City, na 20,000 housing unit initiative. We be saying na Taft Africa Global, na then develop them. Come join us together with the River State government and then they along Port Harcourt Airport Road, Obirikwere. With just 25 million naira or more, you fit get your own house for Greater Taft City. Just make the first payment of 20%, then pay the rest for 1 year without interest. You fit still invest for our commercial properties them where they available. Just make the first payment of 30%, then spread the rest on the pay for 6 months. For property inspection, visit our office for 211 Reef Taft Shopping Mall after JDP Roundabout, Transamadi, Port Harcourt. If you be Miss Golf Estate, no miss this opportunity where Greater Taft City don't bring come your domot. For more to read, we are green us on top 0916 000 4994 or 0916 000 4995 or 0913 756 1335 or 0916 000 4991. You can still visit our website for www.taftafricaglobal.com for more to read.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
And We're back indeed. Welcome back to Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM. We're having a conversation about the Rivers State government commencing the allotment of shops at the Rumuoji Mile 1 Market in Port Harcourt City local government to its original owners. Okay, original owners, right? Several years after it was put under lock and key. Okay, so they have commenced the process and looking at whatever it is you need to look at. Any angle you want to look at it. If you want to bring in the political angle to it, which I don't know. I wanted to say I doubt, but it's not impossible. The process, do you think at the end of the day we would not have other aggrieved parties, coming to probably protest? What are your concerns? Are you just concerned about the fact that, well, I'm happy, you're excited that the market is going to come fully back into stream and business activities are just going to go on there? Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you on the show. How are you doing this afternoon?
Very fine.
Okay. Good. Yes.
Forget about politics.
Okay.
Yes, if they want to give out, they should give out. I'm sick and tired of this back and forth. I know they promised before now. Shijoke went there to promise ending of January or February, if I'm not mistaken.
I think January, I think you said.
Yes, up till now, nothing has happened. So it's story today, story tomorrow. Give out those stuff. The truth of the matter here is this. There are some persons, if I could just recall, they said they are from Southeast, Igbo to be precise, that they bought these market stores from the original owners who are Rivers people. And now if you want to give back, that is what some of these Rivers indigenes have been fighting for, bring back these stores to the original owners. And now these other people are telling you, original owners where? When I've bought these stores from either your father or from your mom. So a lot of issues, just like what you're talking about. Tomorrow we don't want to hear another group again will come.
Yeah, that's my concern.
That is the matter. That is why I said I don't want to come with politics, because when this market got burned, it was Wike who came with even the national body of PDP and other friends. They gave them millions of money, hundreds of millions. Ask anybody. First thing first, they settled them with that one. It was not even a Rivers State government fund. Then, becoming a governor, based on his promise, he built that place. Then what he did was to say, okay, some of the original owners, you will get some. Because we use Rivers funds so that we ballot some for these other persons who have been arguing this whole thing. Then some for the general public. They were looking for a way out. If the man, with the way some of them are using the word, especially the sitting governor now, I don't want to be a dictator. If the man is a dictator, he will not even listen to the people that ran to court. Okay. People went to court. Yes, that was why I said I don't want to talk about politics. So
right.
Any which way you want to use to settle the people, to give them, they should just go ahead. Once they harmonize and they succeed, glory be to God. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, once they harmonize and succeed, glory be to God. I mean, business activities are just going to, spring up from there. And as I mentioned earlier, that is a revenue generating market. It's going to generate revenue. People are going to get busy. Okay, so it has a lot of benefits. So keeping that place under lock and key, with all of the issues involved in it, I mean, it's not going to do us any good. Today 95.1 FM, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, Fortina. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Obed.
Yes, Obed Chima.
Good to have you on the show. All right, welcome.
Policy of the past administration has nothing to do with generating income. That is why that place went under lock and key. You understand? Because
policy,
if a government,
okay.
hello?
Go ahead.
If a government want to indeed generate revenue, I'm not seeing any reason why the former governor will not have resolved any contending issues arising from that allotment of that market. But he normally squander. He doesn't know how to generate revenue. You understand? Now look at all the states, how you have governed the states. You understand? Can you be able to what is indeed flourishing? No. It was all about expenses, building flyover, at the end of the day, allegedly collecting kickbacks and all that. So his policy does not in any way come close to how to generate revenue at all. That is why that place went under lock and key. So I want to commend the governor for coming out. That is what we are clamoring for. Allot the shop to the people, the original owner. Then any remaining one, you can ballot. That is part of our voice. You understand? Over this year. So I think I thank the governor to have risen in this very part of what the public is saying. You understand? But it's unfortunate that the former governor decided to lock that place and throw away the key. It's unfortunate.
Okay, so when you said he normally squanders, that's you alleging, like, okay, he squanders. He normally squanders. But then again, sometimes we need to just, I know it's hard, to take away politics from certain issues and look at the issues the way they are. It's very hard, but I mean, it's something we can do. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Fortuna, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, James.
I can barely hear you.
I said James.
Okay, James. Yes, I can, James. Go ahead.
I want to say that the reason for locking that shop is not because somebody don't want to generate internal revenue. But for our records, you can believe that Rivers that of them has one of the highest generated revenue in Nigeria. From that time that the former governor was ruling. So
are you talking about the market?
Yes, the market. Someone was saying that because he doesn't want to raise revenue, that's why he locked that shop. But this is because there was
that's his personal opinion.
But I'm trying to correct that impression because they are improving records that Rivers generated enough revenue during that period. You understand me?
No, you mean Rivers State. I thought you were going to say that particular market when it was.
No. Okay. Rivers State.
It's all right. It's okay.
So there were crises as of then. So if there is crisis, what do? Allow them to go to court. Let them exercise that and go to the end date.
Mean it's their right?
Yes, let them exercise their right. Go to court. Let God give their verdict. At the end of the day, the true owner will come. So that because no matter how you tell it today, some people will be agree they look their people, settle their people. Because of the crisis, so the best way to allow them to go to court, fully because they will now come back to allow this. So that will be the best way to handle this matter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, anyone who wants to go to court, I mean, it's within their right to go to court. If they feel aggrieved, they'll go to court, and it would rest on the oars of the court to give whatever verdict. Haven't looked at all that they need to look at and come up with a verdict. Okay, so yeah. And then, well, when some issue is, in court, I mean, you just hands off and then you just wait for the verdict of the court. Hello, Today95.1 FM.
No, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, today is calling from Port Harcourt.
Welcome once again.
Yeah, let me ask. If, for example, Rivers State have the one of the generated the highest internal revenue for the past administration, why not the former governor to provide jobs for Rivers people?
Can we just forget about that aspect?
Generating the highest revenue.
Oh, okay.
Let me say something about the market.
Please, thank you.
If, for example, let me say, for example, I'm doing business in some premises of an Equal man or an Igbo man or something like that. That place got fire and they have to non-invest it. End of this, you should give it back to the people that owns it, not by the indigent, because the market was bush people come and develop that very places. So there is no need of dragging. The people that own the shop before the place got fire, and after manufacturing, you should give it them back. Not by argument or whatever. If you want to do business, you can get another shop by the side and start your own business. Not the one that people have already built and developed. You want to come and kill me because you are an indigenous. That doesn't got that in developed countries. That is why Nigeria is going backward. Everything is indigenous. Indigenous who cannot even merit anything. Because of indigenous, you'll be giving the person right that you cannot even control.
Okay, thanks for joining us. All right, keep your calls coming in and messages coming in. River State government has commenced the allotment of shops at the Rumuwoji Malwan Market in Port Harcourt to its original owners. Okay, so that's the conversation. And I'm asking for your concerns. You probably have concerns in certain areas. Maybe you have concerns about the transparency of the process, or you have concerns that at the end of the day maybe would have other aggrieved people, hit the street in protest. Today 95.1 FM. Welcome.
Faustina, I am Mascot.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mascot.
And I am calling from Port Harcourt. Thank you so much. There must be justice in every endeavor and dealing of humans. When justice is lacking, it becomes a problem. Personal. How do you balance the equation that maybe somebody bought a property includes the building and the land upon which that building is situated? If it is one shop, both the building and the land that is housing that particular building is the property to the owner of the person that bought the property. That is commercial law for you. How can you know that there are people who bought property from somebody, the place got gone, you rebuilt the place in one way or the other, and you want to allocate it to people that have already sold the property and the land from 30 or 40 years ago? How justiciable it is. I would want this governor, I don't know the governor, but if he's listening on any of his heads, I know some of his heads are listening, not to toe the line of the former leader, so that it will not increase tension between the indigenous and those who bought that property so many years ago. To find a way to balance the equation, because balancing the equation means that justice has been dispersed. Faustina, thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I know some people would want to bring in the ethnic coloration, yeah? But then again, there are issues, right? And then there are aggrieved people, and they are the ones who've gone to court. And so, for that matter, there's absolutely nothing you and I can do about it. It's left for the courts to say, okay, we rule in your favor or not. But in this particular situation, in this particular story or saga, if you may call it that way, the other people are happy that at least business is going to commence again. But if care is not taken, there will be more aggrieved parties if the issue is not handled properly. So either way you look at it, there are a lot. And then there are the people out as people would say, well, this entire thing, let them just open the market. It's a welcome development. Whatever that is going on, let them just find a way to deal with it. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Faustina.
Welcome.
Yeah. The Bible where we read, it says, if you who know the right thing to do and refuse to do it, I think Bible says it's sin. And there is a punishment towards that. See, we should not run away from the truth if we want this country to move forward. Maybe if you have about 10 persons in your family, maybe you must see 2 or 3 persons that love to tell truth. Others may like to choose the other way around. Like me, if you want to do anything, both in the church, if you want to collect back money, don't send me that message, you do it like this. So don't put me. That market, they know they know the problem. They know the people, original people that own that market, that own those shops. We alleged that time that they purposely put fire on that market so that we want to use it to retrieve the market from the right owners. People say that it's not true. Then tell me the reason why you build the market in it. You don't know that you're supposed to return the market to the owners. Why bringing it, giving it to the people that will say they are like political agents? Somebody that don't know anything about okra. Somebody that don't know anything about sugar. Somebody that don't know anything about pepper. You allocate the shop to the person. The person that know anything about buying and selling are now going to the bag to the person and to buy to rent the shop. What is really going on? How can you allocate the shop to political jobbers?
So the original owners, they say they are allotting the shops too. Are they the ones you're calling the political jobbers?
That is, if you don't know what is going on to do this, bring your people. It's not political. So now you know the problem. So let them give the shop to the people that know what is buying and selling.
As opposed to the original owners. Okay.
The original owners, where are they? Are they selling? What are they selling?
Okay.
We know everything. We should not cover evil. You can't allocate my shop when maybe we're returning back to the shop. You are not telling me that the original owners, where are they?
All right, Chris.
Are they doing buying and selling? There's nothing like a sneak. That is the fact. That's the way no get shop. When no they sell, when no they sell anything, fish. You want your own shop. What do you want to sell?
All right, thank you, Honorable Chris. Thank you for joining us. I'm Soki Fubara from PH. Malone Market building should be in use. It's been on lock and key for about 5 years. Good enough something is done. Okay. All right. KM Hosful says, good day, Faustina. Concerning the market reopening, it's a good one, but if it will be better if common rivers people, not politicians, will be empowered to be able to go to the market. Okay. Hi, good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah. So sometime in during a meeting period.
Hello, Tony. Hello. Sorry about that. Do well to call back 0810-9510-951. 0810-9510-951. Today 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Yes.
So you just make it brief, quick.
Yes. So there was a time during our major administration when we arbitrarily removed, I think 75 of them or so, workers in Imo State. It took even the intervention of the speaker of the River State government to probably they have to deliberate. They said they were erroneously removed. This will happen everywhere. It's not as if it is the River State or whatever. They are looking at River people are even good.
All right, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right, comrade. Off your mic. Thank you. Okay, now if you talk about, we can't, in our conversations, we talk about the issues maybe we are gathered in a circle of friends, we talk about issues, and we hit the core points. We can make reference to whatever, maybe religion, ethnicity, and all of those. We're talking about, allotting it to original owners. They didn't put lines. Okay, so we don't add pepper and every, spicy stuff to the injury. Okay, I think I've taken this one on WhatsApp. Let me go on Facebook and see comments there. And a good initiative by the state government, but they should try in earnest to restore the stores to its original owners and shouldn't be done on the grounds of favoritism or highest bidder. Okay, more concerns, highest bidder. Okay, thank you, Jay Daniel. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. All right, I have a few minutes to take some more calls. You're listening to Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM. 6 minutes to the top of the hour, 3. Very at the Rumuoji Malwon Market. That's in Port Harcourt City local government area, to its original owners. And I'm asking, what are your concerns? Some development, let them just allot and then open the shops so business activities can go on. It's okay. Oh, Kano, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. That's like my way of, just setting things straight so everyone is on the same page. But it's fine, okay? You've been listening to Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Let me see. Okay, so while that is loading, let me take one last call before we wrap up. Hello, good evening. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah,
good afternoon. Asitonga. What do I know? What do I know?
We live around my one. We know when our sister and some persons came to Juku Field.
Asitonga, is it raining where you are?
It's not raining.
Okay, I hear media as well as calls. And yes, to you who are just there listening to the dial, Today 95.1 FM, we appreciate you. Once again, my name is Faustina Uputu. Stick around to the dial, Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
What do you love listening to? What's your style? What's your choice? What do you yearn for? So we've got great talk, amazing
Today's news in 60. The federal government has announced plans to rebase the country's digital economy to stimulate growth and innovation. The Nigerian Communications Commission has disclosed that data consumption reached 720,522 terabytes, indicating the highest monthly unauthorized access to citizens' data via expressverify.com. Meta Platforms Incorporated, led by former UK Deputy Prime Minister and Meta's president.
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
My name is Gianni Infantino, FIFA president. For the best of sports, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. My name is Gianni Infantino, FIFA president. For the best of sports, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
It was expected to be 2 out of 2 Stars of Ghana. 2-1 victory it was for Nigeria. But then again, they will have to succumb to a more compact Malian side who saw them off by 2-0. A very wonderful afternoon to you, and many thanks for joining us on today's edition of Today's Sports Live, reaching you from the studios of your and the studio this afternoon as well. Let's start with Henry Ogugwo. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Reliance. Good afternoon to my colleague here. Good afternoon to our lovely listeners. Great to be here to talk about everything regarding in the world of football. Football to be specific. Super Eagles of Nigeria lost yesterday. We'll delve into the
performance, but many will say it was just a friendly match. Why read so much meaning into it? Young Chukwuzite is here. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon to my colleague Harry. Good afternoon to Gas, Port Harcourt City. Good afternoon to Nigeria sport lovers. I say seriously, let's just fast forward this day, because I think it was scary. Just imagine losing to South Africa. Like it keeps laying on my head. I pray it don't happen. But I think this formation will not work. It was so clear yesterday.
All right,
that it won't work.
We'll get to that part of the conversation. You can equally be a part of the show using our SMS on WhatsApp edition of the MPFL Youth League. And Rivers United, the name is a resounding name, and of course you led the team to secure the very first trophy. That is like, recording your name in the book of times. Everything how it was, the challenges you met along the line
to achieve this. If you're not alive, no way that's possible. The South, who came, Bendel Insurance, Aqua, but for logistics, it came to Port Harcourt.
Yeah,
and these 3 premier top teams went down. We took them down. Our game 2-2 with Bendel Insurance, 2, and we got the ticket as the South champion. That should be noted. As I speak now, we are the South champions.
So it's more like a double celebration for Rivers United on the 17th.
Yes.
Okay.
Moving forward, the champion, they called it so. Greatly, I would say thanks to NFF. I would say thanks to the MPFL. The champion of champions was in Benin. It was a class. So I would say all power belonged to God. Our major game was Remo. Remo and Plateau was the team. Even without kicking the ball, they already posing as champions. Remo and Plateau were already posing as champions.
So these 2 teams were like the teams that gave you toughest of challenge.
By projection,
by
their statistics, over time.
Yeah.
So they already posing, but football, the ball must bounce. Having said that, I'll bring it to what I'm saying. Your radio station is the voice of the people.
Surely.
So having said that, I will bring it to the animal kingdom. To cut the long shot. You see the frog. You see the frog kingdom when they shout, wow, wow, wow. My father told me, while he was saying, I asked him what he said, listen to me. You hear what the frog is saying? I don't know, as a child growing up. I said, please, Apostle, what is the frog saying? He said, listen. The frog is saying, wow, wow, means that the word had to. So cutting that short, the tournament was tough.
Yeah.
And the story is why I'm here today. It's no more a story, it's a fact. Just as I've said, the history is there. River State, the champion, the first ever, for now, Youth League 2024.
Interesting. I feel like playing that song, Stand Up for the Champions. But you didn't come with the trophy, so let's wait until you come with the trophy.
No, please.
Wait.
Okay, let me clear that, please. Let me clear that.
Yeah.
Thank you again once more. Thank you, Rivers people, for believing in us, rightly. The cup can't come now because the cup belongs to Rivers people. The number one man in Rivers State is our dear governor.
Yeah.
The cup is for him.
So have you when Rivers United won the league in 2022, the governor of the time, had a celebration, hosted them and all that stuff. Have you been received by the governor of the state so far?
That is yet to happen.
Okay.
But that's not my field. My field is my own job is to be on the field and deliver. And I've done my job. And the job now is in the Ministry of Sports. The number one man in the Ministry of Sports, I call him Mr. Football. The calculator, Sir Christopher Green, that is his job. To book an appointment, to book the appointment for the governor to receive us. So, and I think and I believe that he's on that. Okay. It was supposed to be last week from what he said, but they are working on it. So that's for sure they are working on it. That is the best I can say for now.
Okay, but you're certain that information has gotten to the governor that this is what Rivers United under 17 team has done. They've emerged champions of the inaugural MPL4 Youth League. Are you certain that because the governor will have a lot on his table?
Well, answering that again, I would say is the people's governor. And I do believe now, I know he is aware because he follows. He's the people's governor. He's a grassroots man. And this particular one is for the youth. And I think it's the governor for the youth. He knows. Maybe they are working on that. That's for sure.
Okay.
That's for sure.
All right. We'll come back to that because, again, it's a remarkable achievement, the one worthy of being celebrated. Youth football in Nigeria has been suffering for some time. I can tell you that because I've been across, different states, covering football and all that. So Nigeria used to be champions in the past, when the 17 World Cup winners and all, but recently looks like it's dying down, So for this to come from the MPFL and for you to take your team to be able to deliver that, and definitely that's a remarkable achievement, showing that something can be done. So it's worthy of being celebrated. But we'll get back to that. For now, the MPFL board chairman, Benga Elegbeleye, said that the reason why he introduced the league for the under-17 for respective clubs in the MPFL who have youth teams is to ensure that the country's national team under 15 and under 17 can have enough players coming from this youth league. Like a reservoir for under 17, under 15 national teams. Do you think, from what you've seen, you played from the zone, you went there to play the 5 teams at the playoff, eventually we made champions. From the quality of players you saw, from your own team or that team, do you think the league, the first edition, may have achieved that, where talent are discovered for the national team?
You see, the chairman said that openly, and it was great. And I do believe that that is the major reason why this league is introduced. Within the league, we had a day or two in a program they call mentorship.
Okay.
To mentor the players. Having said that, he said FIFA, their calendar have changed. The under-17 is now going to be played yearly. So this under-17, it is a big impact to catch them young. That is the major reason why the NFF, via the MPFL, opened this league session.
Yeah.
If they keep the momentum, what I saw in Benin, they will get it right. Everything was super. If they keep the standard, organization, officiating, gloves, keeping to the rules.
Yeah.
His board did very well. I give them kudos. Let them keep it up.
You talked about one thing, club keeping to the rules. One thing that many Nigerians will want to ascertain is, how were these players ascertain that they were actually 17 or under 17? You know, if you've been part of this team for some time now, you played in the league, you know, by any chance, do you think the procedure in which they used to ascertain the age of these players was right?
Yes, it's very right, very right. Going forward, their parents are there, but life is all about documentation, being sincere.
Yeah.
Your fingerprints is on your international passport.
Okay.
Your NIN is there.
Mm-hmm.
These two documents are super. When you see them, you will know that they are correct. I say I give the organization kudos. They were on top of it. So going forward, if they keep it, he may not win now.
Okay.
He may not win tomorrow, but he may win next time. But tomorrow keeps coming, so let them keep it up. My advice for the team, if you win, is good. It's not a winning mentality. Just get it right. If you get it right, the players in their transition, when the money will be rolling in, you will be surprised. So that is the key.
Talking about the money rolling in, of course, that will lead us back to where we more or less started from. You know, the players will be expecting at least some, how do I put it? You know, some envelopes, some promises. You know, from the owner of the team. Yeah, of course. I mean, Rivers State government owns Rivers United, and by extension, they own the under 17 team. So I'm very certain that those boys are eager, you know, anticipating when will Big Daddy, when will the governor call us, you know, and hand us some envelope. You know, I hope you've been able to maybe calm them and tell them that, look, it's coming. The governor will certainly host us.
Okay, I will see come this way as somebody coming from the village. I came from the village. Everybody comes from the village now. The animal kingdom, because that's where I grew it. Everything I hear, you know, the tortoise. My father used to say that tortoise say, talk good face to face. Tortoise said, talk good face to face. As I said, good thing is good.
Yeah.
Our dear governor and the man that is in charge managing the Ministry of Sports, I call him
the calculator.
The calculator, Mr. Football. This area is not my area.
Okay.
But it's not my area. But when a father sees that a son have done well, he knows what to do.
Okay.
Reason being that the city is watching. The ghetto areas all of us came from.
Yeah.
This man, he don't make him succeed. It gives you another encouragement to say, my hope is better tomorrow. Anything you are doing, do it well. So now I believe that this one, they know what to do, so that the areas, people will be motivated to put their best when they have opportunity to do something for the state.
Surely.
Thank you.
Sport is a unifying factor, and of course a means of taking the youth off the street. And Rivers United under 17, coached by Coach Ken Chuku, has succeeded, and it only beckons on the governor to do the needful, you know, at this point. So this is, should I say, a public appeal to the governor. So it's not just the senior team that should be celebrated. All right, it's not just the senior team that should be celebrated. The young ones, the more like the feeder team, should also be celebrated. In Plateau, for instance, Plateau United, about 2 or 3 players from the under 17 have been debutized in the Nigeria Premier Football League, and this is what Rivers United under 17 team can do as well, where the Rivers United senior team can look into the feeder team and get players from there. That saves money from going to sign players from, you know, anywhere, from Liberia, from Akwa United, from, you know. So definitely the governor will want to look at this, of course, through the Ministry of Sports, where the commissioner is in charge, want to look at this and give these young ones a proper welcome, a proper celebration, because the streets of Rivers State looks quiet. If you were Rivers United now, if you're not there quiet like this, so they say what is good for the goose is equally good for the gander. Coach, I've done my, you know, I don't know if I'm supposed to this me putting you on a hot seat, and through information reaching me from my sources. Have it that there are some clubs from the West who are looking for your signature. More like want to steal you away from Rivers United after a tremendous achievement. Coach, what are you telling Rivers people at this point?
My dear brother, life is good.
Right.
But one thing I say, one thing at a time. In my life, my entire life, I'm not in a hurry in anything I'm doing. Anything I'm doing, I seek the face of God to get it right.
Yeah.
But for now, I get work now. I do my day.
Right.
Yeah, I do my day. I get work. So I don't go there for another work. They go another work.
They go. Okay.
Yeah, no, I get work already.
So that's like
I did work already. So the rest is for God. I did work already. I did my day for now.
Coach, that response sounds a little bit political.
No.
Are you assuring Rivers people that you will still be there to nurture youth football, to nurture youth development? Because this is a part of youth development.
Yeah, very.
If you're looking at
that's the key.
Areas or sectors in life where youth development is quite key and enormous, one of that area, one of those areas will be sports. It's even more in sport than any other sector. Maybe can talk about technology and all of that stuff. So are you assuring them that you will still be here to nurture young ones who have interest in playing football? Because like I said, my sources don't lie. So you're not disputing that.
No.
You're not disputing. So my sources don't lie.
I get work already.
Okay.
Life is the key. Once you are alive, good things will come.
Okay.
But we are for now. I get work. I did my day.
Okay, you did your day.
Yeah,
I did my day. I did my day. Nothing that happened.
All right.
Nothing that happened.
Okay. What if somebody wants to? What's the procedure of a player? Because I've had so many parents reach out to me that I want my son to play football. I want an academy and all of that stuff.
Okay, see, my brother. That's why my own coaching is different.
Okay.
I like putting pictures together to get the thing direct. I sabi wrestle. See wrestling ground.
Enter. Wrestle. Let's see you.
I sabi play. The field, who train in Shark Stadium, the field is open. No sent, come to the field. I see you once, twice. I say, come on, right? Are you ready to go? Let's push. There's something there we're pushing. The field is there. The field is open. We run an open door policy. When's the time for screening? We'll call for screening. Thank you for this impact. The field is open.
Okay,
Shark Stadium.
So they can just come to Shark Stadium?
No, son, come and play. You're Riversman, you're Nigerian. I'm always on the field.
Okay.
I'm a practical coach. I'm on the field. Not be telephone.
Abi?
I there for field, they wait. I sabi rest to see field now. Come rest for the. I sabi play, come field. Then that's it. Just as easy.
So if they want to come, what day and what time will they find you?
The field is busy now based on school and inter-house and about Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Okay.
We are on 7:30 in the morning. Like now, based on this achievement, we are open now. We are waiting for what God is doing. Then maybe we can have 1 week break or 2 weeks break, but we are still on. I'm just coming from training.
Yeah.
I came from training down here now. So we are on.
All right. Coach Ken Chukwu, winner of the maiden edition of the Nigeria Premier Football League Youth League. It's called MPFL Youth League. He's here with us. He coaches Rivers United under 17 team and emerged champions after the zonal qualifier. There was a playoff. 5 teams qualified for the playoff. Rivers United under 17. Plateau United, Katsina United, Remo Stars, and I think Rangers International qualified. And he had to beat them all in more like a round-robin game. The final match was Rivers United under 17 playing against Katsina United. That match ended 4-2 in favor of Rivers United under 17. Emerged winner of the maiden edition of the Nigeria Premier Football League Youth League, meant for under 17. Here with us in the studio, and of course, expectedly, the listening governor will do the needful by inviting these ones and also showing them encouragement and, of course, celebrating them. Coach, just before we switch to talk about the Nigeria Super Eagles, one other key area that we cannot neglect talking about is that these players, after they've had this exposure, clubs might even come outside Rivers State, clubs might come outside Nigeria looking for them. Have you had things like that just yet?
The only thing I can say now, the team who produced the highest goal scorer, the player of the tournament, overall player of the tournament, is from our team. After that, players of the tournament will have 5 from Rivers United. The coach of the tournament is my very self.
That's from the team of the tournament. 5 players from Rivers United under 17.
Yes. Then the coach for that team is
obviously
is the Rivers man now talking with you here. So I won't say 10. Having said that, 10 of our players, 6 or 7 listed for under 17, and the other 2 or 3 is for under 20. That's to tell you the progression, So going forward again, well, life is simple. Let's see what God will do. That's one of them. But they are here. Tomorrow is greater than today. So they are hopeful. The transition is there for them. It's a good transition for them. In Nigeria, the Rivers United and everything comes from God. But the boys are very grateful. The boys are very grateful.
That's societal impact.
They are very happy for the opportunity. Yeah. I can speak for them. They are very happy. Yeah, the environment alone in Benin, the stadium in Benin, the dressing room is massive. For a very long time, they haven't seen that.
All right, interesting. Coach Kenchuku is still here with us in the studio, and we will continue our conversation. We'll get back to him, but in the meantime, let's talk about the Nigeria Super Eagles after their 2-0 international friendly match loss to Mali.
Check it, we are back again. See my boys, them tapping on the pitch again. We don't come, we don't run, make them clear the way. West Africa, so now we they throw the blaze. Them be they underrate, but now we dominate. So now we they set the pace for them to emulate. So we they tap, we they score, and we they dribble. Them they fall, and we they shoot, we they push, we they show them they fall, and we they. Where you do?
The lines and the lyrics of that song was true when Nigeria played against the Black Stars of Ghana. 2-1 win as they emerged, but those lines were more or less not exact when Nigeria played against Mali last night as the Super Eagles succumbed to a 2-0 defeat in an international friendly match to wrap up the international window against the Eagles of Mali. Toure gave Mali the lead in the 18th minute, and the runners-up in the recently concluded Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast could not severe a draw in the first half. Doumbia sealed the victory for the Malians with an 84th minute strike from the center of the box. And this is where we bring in Henry Ogugwo, because he seems to have a lot to say about this one. I don't know whether he wants to say that Finidi should not be given the job again. I don't know, but Henry, what's your assessment of that match last night?
First of all, anybody who knows me will know that I've been Finidi. No, I'm not even. Frankly speaking, I'm not even confident in any of the indigenous coaches. Sadly to say it that way, it's not like I won't say Nigeria doesn't have the personnel, but we do not have a large pool to actually select from. And also, when you look at this little pool we have, you ask yourself, what sort of experience do they actually have to offer? Because it's a different ballgame when you get to play at the African level, the continental level. Be it if you want to say you're doing decently or okay enough in the NPFL, it's a different level when you get to that continental level and the international level. The expectations are very high because, number one, you're coaching arguably a team you regard as the best side or one of the best sides in African football. I think only Egypt you can say has a better record in African competitions than the Super Eagles, and that's the fact. So I mean, let's put it, you're managing one of the top 2 sides on the African continent, so the pressure, the expectations is high. Pesero even said it's like one of the most difficult jobs. I think the only job that comes close to it on the African continent is the Egyptian national team job, and probably the Alakli coaching job because of the expectations of this other side. So that's one thing that comes with Super Eagles' job, number one. Number two, it's like I did say, the expectations, the requirements and all that stuff. And you also look at the experience of the coaches. Many of them don't necessarily exude the confidence you want. Finidi Georges is the coach of Enyimba, but I mean, if it was Enyimba of the 2002, 2003, 2004 that went on to win the CAF Champions League and Finidi George was the coach, fine, he should coach the national team. That means he's good enough. I trust that he can take the reins of Super Eagles of Nigeria and he can actually carry out, because he's done it at the top or at the highest level on the African continent. Emmanuel Amunike, he coached Tanzania. That's respectable. He did well with Tanzania. He did okay with Tanzania. Took them to their first African Cup of Nations since 1918, 2019. But I mean, the performance at the AFCON wasn't necessarily the best of what we are looking for, and what the Tanzanians were looking for was let go of. And he's not really been able to hold the job steadily down since then. From Zanaco to Misarel Mikasa to even was it the under-20s at a point? Okay, the under-20s was actually before the Tanzania job, actually. But I mean, it's been the inability of the man to actually hold down the job, and you're just citing Tanzania as quote unquote the success of the man. But I mean, when you look at what he did with Tanzania, you've seen coaches that have taken national teams that are small as Tanzania and done fantastic teams with them. One, Micha Obiang of Equatorial Guinea, who knew Equatorial Guinea would become a force to reckon with in the African scene, took them to the quarterfinals and the round of 16 of the last AFCON. Although you have to say they were unlucky against Guinea and should have actually gotten past Guinea in that round of 16 game. You look at some other coaches and what they've done with the Mauritanian side in Amada and all.